going on? See if anybody gets on here. Just figured I'd jump on, do a little bit of carving. Somebody had asked for a tent tour of the tent that I carve in, so we'll see if anybody jumps on here on this live feed. If they do, then maybe we'll do a tour with the tent. Yep. Let's see here. All right, hope you guys are having a good Saturday. It's been a crazy busy week. I'm gonna carve for a bit. We get a few people on. We'll stop, we'll chat, we'll hang out. Just gonna be running the battery saws. It's after 6 actually, so I don't know. I think I have chat on. Guess we'll find out when some other people get on here, right? Thanks for joining. I see there's a couple people on watching. Cool. Just gonna work on a bear. Somebody asked for a tour of the tent that I carve in, so I figure we get, I don't know, maybe if we get like 8 or 10 people on here at least, we'll kind of just do a little tour. You guys see most of it, right? It's just total chaos, but I'll show you what's up. Right now, just kind of working on a little sitting bear. Running the MSA 220 quarter pitch sprocket with a 12-inch bar, not a dime tip, just a regular bar. I like to size these saws down. They cut a lot faster. So normally you're running like 3/8 pitch, 14 or 16-inch bar. What'd I put on here? I think I put a 12 inch. So it usually comes with a 14 or a 16, 3/8 pitch chain and sprocket. I downsize it to a quarter pitch, and it works great for detail work and smaller carvings. What's going on, Barry? Hope you're doing good, man. Thought I'd get on live. Haven't been live in a while for you guys. It's been a minute. Had a good week. Hopefully some of you guys getting out there carving. This week and next week are going to be crazy for me. This past week and this week coming up. This past week's been pretty nuts, and the week coming up is going to be pretty nuts too. We did those horses on site. This week was graduation week, so my oldest graduated. She'll be off to college here right after summer break. Graduation last night. We got a party for that next week. It's just busy stuff, busy stuff. Hope you guys are doing good though. You guys are carving and having fun with that. up one of my hoodies there. I'd like to come up with a different design for some merch for anybody that's interested in supporting the channel and rocking some gear. Just gotta have time to do it. I also got to do a tutorial for my members. I know we talked about taking a piece of wood and doing 2 cubs with a tree, with like a cub and a tree and a cub sitting under it. That's still in the works. Still hope to do that probably sometime after next week. I'm hoping to put that tutorial together for those of you that are signed up on my members. Doesn't matter what tier you're at, I'm just gonna make it available for all members. Right now I'm working on just a bear sitting. So what we're gonna do is bring this over. We're gonna have paw of the rear leg right here. Then the other arm will just kind of be resting over maybe. I'm not sure yet. Part of me wants to do that. Part of me wants to slim him down and have the other one come straight down so it's like next to him, propping him up kind of like he's leaning. I'm not sure yet. Just go with the flow and see what happens, you know? See, we got 4 people watching. If you're here hanging out, be sure to like the live feed. Tells the algorithm it should share the video with other people. YouTube just doesn't like me when I go live. It really doesn't. I don't get a lot of viewers. It's kind of a bummer. Now what to do? What to do? What to do? Not sure. Not sure, not sure. Hey, thanks, Matthew. Appreciate it. If you guys are just joining, be sure to give me a like. Appreciate the comments. Yeah. Just getting your comments through. It's summertime. It's early. Yeah. Saturday night. We got time to make noise, right? Make some noise for a little while. Trying to figure out what I want to do on this side of the bear because I don't have a lot of material left because, you know, just kind of winging it. So we got this arm and paw wrapped over the front of his foot. It's going to be right here in front. Right, so this kind of swings in, but that doesn't leave us a lot of material. Oh, it's awesome, Matt. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad I can help you out. Right, so we got this nice arm. Kind of made his head a little big. Probably should have made him looking like a smaller bear, but so now we got to figure out like how do we fit a leg and an arm in this other side when we don't really have like we should have this more material coming over here, right? So it's like, okay, well, why would you do that and then make a video and then show you guys? Well, this is like the concept of just winging it, you know, like you got to figure it out. So for like new carvers, when you're looking at stuff, right, and you're just carving along and you're like, oh, I don't have the material to, you know, do the exact same design on this side, or this isn't working out. This isn't going to plan, right? This carving's not going to plan. It's not, everything's not fitting. So how do you go from here? How do you move forward and not make this just a burn piece, you know? Like, what do you do? And honestly, the thing to do is to just take a minute, right? Take a minute, look at it. It might mean, take a minute might mean a couple minutes. Take a minute might mean a couple hours, days, or weeks. Now, if it's gonna take a while, you just take this piece and set it aside, right? You're feeling stumped. Set it aside and start another piece if you're stumped. It happens. Yeah, I mean, I like that idea. I have a hard time selling busts though. So if I do just a bare bust with just the head and do a lot of detail in that, I've done a few and they don't sell. So I end up dropping them off at a store where they eventually sell, but sometimes they sit there for a while. So the idea though is like if people can get a full-bodied bear squeezed into this, then I have a higher chance of being able to sell that piece. But if I just do like this bare bust, sometimes I just can't get rid of it. Now, if I were to do a bigger one, right? Like this big bear bust with teeth, and I left that material to do that and really get into like the furring and the detail. Then we got a higher probability of being able to sell that piece. Now, I could, yes, just turn it into a bear bust and do rocks and then just put like a dirt cheap price on it at a craft fair or in the store, and it'll probably go. Why? Because like if you make anything cheap enough, people are gonna buy it. You know, so it's kind of like, what do you want to do? But I could go that simple route. But as far as like, you know, trying to figure things out on the fly, trying to wing it, trying to just, you know, come up with an idea or design, you got to continue on. You got to push through what it is you're looking at, and you got to be able to just continue on. So I see we got a few more people here. If you guys are here hanging out, thanks for being here. Really do appreciate it. Be sure to hit a thumbs up. All right, give me a like, come back. It helps YouTube get this video out there for other people to view. YouTube doesn't like sharing my videos when I go live. That's why I haven't gone live much, because it always seems like I'm lucky if I get 3, 10 tops for viewers. And sometimes it's like, man, I'm better off just making a video, you know? So anyway, what we're doing is we're just kind of thinking about a piece that we're winging and what can we do with it, you know? Where can we go with this piece? How can I fit this in here and it still look okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block the arm in a little bit in a different manner, and we're gonna swing it around right across the front of the body. It's gonna kind of be like right here for him. This bear is probably holding something near and dear to his heart, you know. Never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey. Bad jokes. Bad jokes. So we just kind of tucked it up. What we'll end up doing is moving this back just a touch. His head's a little big. That's all right. Gives us room for detail work. I'm going to shut the door on the shop because that compressor is loud. Helps a little bit. Helps a little bit. All right, we got a handful of people on here. So I said I'd do a little tour of the tent. All right. Somebody had asked for a tour, but I just didn't really feel like making a whole video on the tent. So it's just a tent from Harbor Freight. Usually get them less than $200. They used to be able to get them on sale for like $99. Good luck with that now. Usually it's like $130. Basically, you get one white tarp roof, right? You get all these metal poles, and you don't get any walls. Over the years, I bought a couple of them, so I double up the top so I can leave it up all winter and the snow doesn't bust through. And I made myself a snow bump. What I did was I took an old handle, aluminum handle here from an old snow rake, put a small piece of pine that was all dried out, sanded it nice and smooth, there's no sharp edges, and then I used that to bump the snow off. Now it's up there like this right now because I have this one part, it's getting old, this one part sags when it rains, so if I leave this up here, the rain runs off instead of making a heavy spot. I actually need to take it down, put some new poles up. Now, to get through the winter, I slapped up some 2x4s real quick. Some amazing bracing with a 2x6 at the top, all the way down, and they just go up where the poles are. And what I end up doing before winter is I bungee these together just so the poles are on top of the 2x4s and the 2x6 that runs the ridge line. And honestly, it holds the snow. We've gotten 4 or 5 inches overnight and it still stands. We've woke up to 10, 12 inches before and it's still standing. So it works out. I've built some shelves in here. Nothing's permanent. Everything can just be taken down and moved if need be. But it's 10 by 20. Like I said, Harbor Freight. And it's really nothing crazy. I mean, I've got an outlet. I put an outlet in outside the shop, and my air for the compressor comes outside the shop. So these, stay with me. Right, so we've got air in one of these boxes, so I'll run an air hose over when I'm working, and I just run an extension cord over. This is on a breakered circuit with its own breaker inside in case there's ever any issues, and all that runs over to just a power strip. So lots of moving. Hopefully you guys ain't getting car sick. So then we've got just a big power strip in here, right? It's got its own breaker as well. Run another cord up on its own power strip over here, and then that runs the lights. And so it's just enough juice. I've got a 20 amp outlet, you know, that's got the reset breaker CGI outlet with a 20 amp breaker inside the box. Most of these tools run at like 10 to 15 amps, and so it leaves just enough with these LED lights for them to not really flicker when I'm working. Run 2 lights, it's bright enough to do what I need to do, and as long as I don't put a dark tarp over the roof or anything, you know, it'll seem brighter in here with the lights off later in the evening than it does outside, because the white draws that light in, and then you turn the lights on, you know, and booyah, it's daylight. So that's pretty much the tent though. I've got this plastic just clamped up because I put smaller finished pieces on the other side for storage before shows and things like that. I've also got, as you guys can see, I got materials everywhere, right? It's my own little chaos that I love it. But I've got driftwood and some slabs over there, which this summer we're gonna get that all cleared out. I've got platforms in there for when I've got a big furniture fair that I do for the high-end rustics that I build. Those are in there just to keep them out of the elements till I make space in the carport where I also have more slabs for furniture and things. But yeah, this just keeps the dust in this area. So it's probably a third of the tent is tarped off over there. Like I said, just, you know, finished pieces and things like that. Now over here, I just do quick makeshift things, you know. Prop up some wood so I can throw a saw up there. Throw a quick little table together for saws. I've got all these rounds cut for tabletops. I might actually just start selling these off. I got a ton of them, and I made probably a dozen tables a couple years ago, sold a few, still have a lot left, so I might just get rid of this stock. Might sound funny, but it's all dry stuff, and somebody that wants to build and make simple tables, they could probably do it. You know what I mean? Knock them out and they're ready to go. Or I might just make some really quick, simple tables, put them out real dirt cheap just to get rid of all the excessive material. And then I'll have all this space here to just kind of maybe build like a wooden shelf to put pieces or, you know, whatever. And then let's see here. We got this bench. Was cleaned off about a month ago. Get working on projects, things pile up. But yeah, you guys have seen the tool rack, spray paint, tools. Just a quick little thing. That's the tent though. That's the tent. Oh, the walls. Right, so we've got walls. They didn't come with the tent. We've got one down on the very end, and then the end I walk through. Stay with me, no motion sickness. This end zips on both sides. You roll it up, it stays up. I got all that off Amazon. Just ordered it, you know. I don't know, might have been a couple $100, $180 or so. So, you know, all in all, you end up spending like, if you were to buy it all in one shot, probably $350, $400. The only reason I go with the Harbor Freight top and buy the sides separate though is Harbor Freight warranty. Buy the 2-year warranty. Thing starts getting worn, you get a hole in the tarp after a year, take it down, take it back, they give you another one. I usually write the dates on them, so when, you know, they get bad, I can take it back, I buy a warranty. So if I buy two, buy them one at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year, buy my warranties. This one goes bad, take it back, put the top up. That's how I keep 2 tops consecutively going, and they're warranted. So that's a good thing with Harbor Freight. If you buy like Cover Pro or Car Pro or what these other ones are, you're not paying for this warranty and you're spending $400 for all this stuff. And when your top rips, tough crap, you gotta buy a new one. So just gotta think about that stuff. That's it with the tent. I'm gonna start carving again here in a minute, guys. Let's see. What do you carve the most? Pine? Yeah, carve yellow pine the most. I'll carve whatever I can get my hands on, but pretty much everything over here is yellow pine. This is all stuff that's going to be carved from dimensional rough cut, which this was an 8x8 beam. I've got some 4x6 beams, some other pine that I just, you know, kind of blocked up to get ready for smaller carvings. I do have some box elder pieces over there I'll carve up. I've done walnut, I've done, you know, a lot of different things. Pine, though, is the most forgiving on your tools, your saws. You don't have to sharpen as often. If you get into hardwood and things like that, you know, you got to sharpen a lot more, and you end up doing a lot more sanding. So, you know, if somebody special requests it, then, you know, you got to price it accordingly, because it's just more time consuming usually to carve hardwood. Yeah, you guys have any other questions? If you guys do ask, I'll come back and read. We're going to read them, and I'll answer the best that I can. I got to plug this phone back in, though, so we don't lose this live feed to a dead battery. And we'll see if we can get this guy going. Oh, and then I'll show you guys a special little detail saw that I've been customizing and putting together. Pretty neat. Haven't used it yet, so maybe we'll use it to detail this bear in a minute once I get him blocked up. Not gonna run power tools tonight. We're just gonna do a little bit of saw work. So basic bears there. I'm gonna go through and just kind of clean them up a little bit. Actually gonna switch over to the 200 MSA 200C. We've got a dime tip bar on here. Micah Davis Mica, my go-to big saw, as in what? To do what with? So the battery saw is a lot of detail work, MS-170s, detail work. I do have an MS-250 that I downsized. It came with 325, I think, and I downsized it to 3/8, and so it runs the original bars and chains off of 170s. I use that for small to medium blocking when I'm not in here, trying not to make a ton of noise. Yep, so I'll use the 250 for blocking. I'll use a 271 for blocking. Use those probably the most for medium to some large carvings, 4 to 5 feet. After I get over a 2 foot, 2.5 foot girth, you know, it starts getting bigger around. You get bigger, you want to take bigger cuts off. And I've got an older Steel 039. I've got a 441 Magnum. Now the 39's got a 20-inch bar. The 441 runs a 25-inch bar. And so those are about, you know, the two biggest saws that I'll use for actual blocking in big pieces. I do have, you know, the Halls Forma G660 and the Halls Forma 888, but I use those for milling. I don't really see a need or have a need to use those for, you know, big blocking. But if I had to do a big piece out of a log that was like, you know, over 3 feet across, 4 feet across, then we'd bust out the 660 or the 880 with a huge bar and, you know, block them out. But it's not a bad idea to have a big saw if you get into like bigger pieces. But like the 271, that thing rips. It's a nice little saw. You run an 18-inch bar. Even if you can't get all the way through the piece, you know, then you gotta start working on your cuts, meeting the other side, lopping pieces off and blocking. You can move fairly quick. Mine runs great. If you get up to like a 291 or a 311, then at least you can run a bigger bar and you can get into some bigger pieces. So hopefully that helps you out. Now, obviously, I am a steel guy, and you know, a lot of people like Husqvarna, a lot of people like Echo. You know, there was even a guy back in the day, all he ran was Poulon Wild Things for carving. You know, it's all preference. Like Chevy and Ford, Chevys are the best, but you know, is what it is. You know, but it's that thing, right? You're a Ford guy, you hate Chevys. You're a Chevy guy, you hate Ford. You like Husqvarna, you hate Steel. You like Steel, you hate whatever. They all have their ups, their downs, their flaws. Some days they're all junk, and some days they're all amazing, right? Doesn't really matter. The reason, though, I gravitate towards Steel, one, I started with Steel, and so you start to accumulate them, right? Two, I have found that I can mix and match parts on different models of steel chainsaw, right? So I've been able to pull like I said, we take an MS-170, order up my quarter pitch sprocket, my dime tip bar, put that on my MS-170, run my carving chain, good to go. But now you have a 3/8 pitch sprocket and usually a 16-inch bar, right, that came stock. Well, the cool thing is those parts will fit right on your Steel MS-250. Okay, why take your 250 and downsize that bigger chain? Because it cuts faster, right? That thing will come with a 16 or an 18-inch bar. 18-inch bar is too much for the MS-250. It doesn't need it. But if you downsize it to a 16-inch bar running 43 gauge chain at a 3/8 pitch, that thing cuts like butter. Now, you gotta watch, make sure it's oiling properly. Sometimes you gotta make the hole in the bar a little bit bigger where the oiler oils through. You gotta look at those things, make sure things line up, stuff like that. I haven't got into swapping out that stuff on bigger saws yet. I really haven't needed to. Like the 270, I've left it alone. I want it for blocking. I want big chunks. But I like the 250 for doing when I get into the smaller blocking and I want to remove a smaller piece and a little bit of detail and start adding shape to a carving that's like 3-4 feet tall and up. You can cut quick. It's like hot knife and butter. It really is. Same thing with these battery saws. So I've got an MSA 160C, the 200C, and I've got the 220C. All battery saws, right? Let me think. The 160 comes with a 1/4 pitch sprocket. The 220 or the 200 comes with a 1/4 pitch sprocket, and the 220 comes with a 3/8. Well, the sprocket off a 160 will fit all three. So you can put a 1/4 pitch sprocket on that 220 if you want, but I think it's overkill. But I did it anyway. So there's my 220. I put a 1/4 pitch sprocket with a 1/4 pitch 14-inch bar with 43 gauge chain. So it came with 3/8. I downsized it. Now for smaller carvings and detail work, this saw rips. It rips. Again, keep an eye on the oiler, make sure things line up properly, right? Because each one can have its own little flaw. Oiler hole might not match up perfectly. That's all that kind of detail stuff you got to look at when you do. I don't want to say they all fit, they all work great, and then like, you know, you're burning up your bar because yours hole is off just a smidge. You're not getting the proper amount of oil. But mine's ripping. My 160 seems to be shorting out lately, so I got to do some stuff with that. This video will be uploaded. This live feed, I'll upload it. I don't talk a ton about all that. I really don't. You know what ends up happening is, like, for me, it's firsthand experience, right? So I'm just sharing it with you guys. And then I get those guys that are just real chainsaw guys. To them, I'm not a real chainsaw guy. And then they'll just, you know, tear me apart for the information I share on a chainsaw, which seems silly to me, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. That's kind of my lineup though with saws and my setups real quick. Maybe, heck with it. Maybe we'll do a video this week. We'll work on putting something together so you guys can kind of go through and see, and we'll talk about it a little bit and what the saws look like as far as sprockets and bars and carving, because Micah seems pretty interested in that. You're more into the finish item than the tools? How so? What is it you're looking for, Micah? What's the question, man? Well, Mike is typing up his question as far as finish work. I've got this GTA 26, right? The little pruning saw. Did a review on it a while back. Picked myself up a second battery, and I took a dime tip bar that I had had for a while. The first one I started with. It really wasn't bad. I could have used it longer, but I decided to chop it down and just kind of figure it out as far as length goes to fit the chains that come on the GTA 26. So it's a 1/4 pitch chain, 43 gauge, and what I was able to do, obviously, is make my own dime tip bar. Now, just today, I was playing around with this dime tip bar on the sander, and I was working on getting it just a little bit more narrow. It's tough to see here. Yeah, so one's behind the other, so they look different sizes. So I'm trying to make this a little bit more narrow, slowly rounding it over and making it a little bit more, you know, going from this to this. I want to see where the point is at which I can no longer make it, you know, smaller. All right, Matt. Yeah, between you and Micah, I'll, you guys, you know, talking about bars and chains and saws and stuff like that, I'll work on putting it together. Yeah, tools, yeah, tool talk is technical stuff, but like if you're really getting into it and you want to go gung-ho, tool talk is something that's got to be done. It's information that's got to be shared and things we got to talk about, right? So, you know, I always tell everybody, start off with an MS 170. Why? Because you might not actually like carving, and at most you spend a couple $100 on a saw you can use around the house, the yard, or just resell, right? People will buy 170s all day long. You put $150 on that thing, it's gone. So you do that, right? Your next saw, jump to a 250. Now you can interchange parts. You have a blocking saw and a detail saw. done. You can have a whole small business running those two saws all out until, you know, you have catastrophic failure. I still have my first MS-170, so it's always hard for me when people are like, they're junk, they're junk. They are, they're a cheaper saw, right? An MS-170 is a cheaper saw. Mine's actually over there. I was messing around with it. It's the first one I ever bought and started carving with. And I have a detail bar on it now, and I still use that saw. So it's important to, you know, do general maintenance. It's important to take care of your stuff. MS-170 steel and 250. Okay, your wording's a little off, but I think what you're asking me is, are they two-stroke chainsaw? Yes, so chainsaws are two strokes, if that's what you're asking. That means you got to mix your gas in your oil 50-1 if you're running steel. I always buy their, in the gray bottle, oil mix to go in the gas. That's their synthetic mix. And I mix 5 gallons at a time because I'm going through a lot of gas. But a lot of you guys starting out could probably just use, you know, a 1 or 2 gallon can to mix your oil and gas in. After, you know, so you get your saws, right? You can do a lot of work with those. Another great purchase to get right out of the way, other than safety gear, like legit guys, safety is something I'm always trying to stress to you guys. Chaps, wear safety shoes, gloves, ear protection, eye protection, and a dust mask is great. I'm an affiliate with RZ, so you guys can always find an RZ link as well in the description. So other than safety gear, right, a jaw horse behind me, great purchase. A die grinder, this is what I do all my facial detail work with a Saburrtooth flame burr. All good stuff. Maybe we'll start getting into some more videos about, you know, tools and setups and things like that, because you guys seem pretty interested in that. So all right, I'm gonna do a little work on here. If you guys have questions, ask. I'll just come back and let's come back to it and answer those for you, okay? It is muggy. It's muggy out here today. Whew. This evening. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Yes, it is. Alrighty, let's see here. So I used to think I needed the die grinder to cut the nose in, but I really didn't. What I needed was to work on my saw control, right? If you guys learning saw control is important. Learning where the chain grabs the most, at what angle to come in and make certain cuts to do different things, all things to think about, right? As you're carving, don't just dive in and start hacking and whacking and hoping things work out. Well, think about it, you know, like, and after you do it a while, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just know. You're able to jump in, you can feel it, you know the saw should be here, 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 right? You can do all those things. But it's not trying to get, really what it all comes down to is practice. And you're not trying to get to that finish line day 1, month 1, week 1, year 1, right? There shouldn't be a finish line. You have your goals, which should always be stepping up as you continue to grow in your art form. But like, there really is no finish line for your end product as far as your style, as far as your art form, as far as, you know what I mean? Just keep pushing yourself. It does. It's like just another extension of you once you kind of figure out how to do these things, which is great, but also can be dangerous. In that horse carving video, if you guys watched it, I had a small accident. I mean, well, I say accident, I didn't get hurt, but it could have been a bad accident. I was running the 441 Magnum, the steel, with a 25-inch bar, and I was making a cut down, and I was kind of working the saw, the tip of the bar, right? And when I did that, I didn't realize I was going too fast with my movement, and it twisted the bar just enough on the nose so it threw the chain as I was pulling out of the cut. So as I pulled out of the cut, because of the twist, threw that chain, and that thing came right around and hit me right in the crotch and just the underside of my thigh. If I didn't have chaps on, it would have been a bad day. It would have been a really bad day. Now, chaps don't cover the underside of your thigh, right? They don't always cover everything in the front. I got lucky. I was standing just right. Chaps were covering everything. And that chain hit and slowed everything down before it actually came around and smacked me in the back of my thigh. If I didn't have chaps, that sucker would have probably cut my inner thigh and all the other good stuff, and that would have been crappy. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it, Matthew. Yeah, I got lucky. So I do know a few carvers. I know a carver who buys, he doesn't buy the chaps anymore. Steel makes a full pant. So it's a full pant leg, same material, but it's like walking around in snow pants. So, I mean, you know, and if you guys watch my videos enough, like right now, it's hot. I'm wearing shorts. Not the best idea, right? Jeans are much better. I wear these things right here that I made, cut the sleeves off an old shirt. Keeps the sawdust out of my sneakers because I hate that. Keeps my legs cool though, you're not sweating as bad. But if I'm running a big saw, little saws, I'm not too worried about it because if this chain blows off, 9 times out of 10 it'll hit me in the thigh. It's gonna hit me in the stomach, honestly, which would suck. But it's not gonna hit me down in the calf or in my, you know, my lower leg area. The bigger saws though, you know, you're running a longer bar, longer chain, you run that risk of that hitting anywhere lower within the waist and lower, depending on how you're working. Just some things going over, just some things to think about. I know I see people jumping on and off. Appreciate you guys hanging out, watching, listening to me chat. If you guys have questions, you know, saws, tools, safety gear, whatever, just feel free to ask. I'm just working, we're chatting. I have no real goal set as far as carving, just kind of hanging out with you guys. If you missed the tent tour earlier, this video will upload through the evening, probably tomorrow. So it'll be here though for everybody to watch. Curl, kind of have just a touch of a smile. The more rounding and shaping you get, the more realism you'll get as you add fur and things. I know a lot of beginners, we start out right and your stuff's super blocky. Just remember, like, a bear is rounded. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? But the more hard edges you get rid of, the more realism you're able to get out of it. Here's the difference, guys, between carving with a bigger chain, a bigger saw, right? Trying to do this detail work. One, it's a heavier saw if you're running a big chain. But two, you can't really round those ears with just the saw because the teeth are too big, right? If you're running 3/8 pitch or 325 or 50 gauge, not so much 50 gauge, sorry. Some of those other ones though, you get into those bigger teeth and it's gonna grab more bite, potentially ripping more wood and tearing. This is also why I like carving wood that's a little more green or a little more wet, not so just dried out, bone dry. Bone dry wood, you tend to get more pieces that just pop off. You know, you could have a thinner nose or a thicker nose and lose some of it because it's so dry it won't stay together. But if you carve it when it's green and it dries out, those pieces will stay a lot of times. They don't just fall off. The fact is how much the tooth grabs and the force behind it that can rip pieces off. So I don't know, just throwing things in there. Nice little motion to practice is your scraping motion with the bar. Power tools are great. Chainsaw work will do a little bit quicker though. So you get everything close, and you could sand it all smooth if you wanted, you know. And then go through and do your furring, get much cleaner lines. When I'm working on smaller pieces like this, time is of the essence. If I've got to do a lot of sanding, a lot of detail work, I'm losing time, I'm losing money. I have a chance to get a brand new MS-170 with steel carving bar, quarter pitch from a dealer. Do I think it's a good price? Well, I don't know what price they're charging you. Or what do I think is a good price? I mean, 300 bucks. That's not bad. I mean, it depends on where you're located. I'm here in upstate New York, right? If I go to my local dealers, the MS-170, right, we'll talk before tax, is going for like $179.95, brand new saw. If you're going to order the sprocket, I think it's about 25 bucks. If you're going to order the dime tip bar through steel, I think that's about 80. And then you got to order a couple carving chains at like 19 something or 24 something a piece. You know what I mean? So right there, you're already what? Once call it 180, plus the bar, just call it another 100 bucks. So 280, couple chains, another 50, your sprocket for 25, 30 bucks. You know, the only thing is if it's already set up to carve, where's the original sprocket and where's the original bar? You know what I mean? Or are they just selling it as a carving bar, as a carving saw, minus those parts? Personally, I want those parts because I'd put those on my MS-250 for blocking, but I don't know what your blocking situation is. You know what I mean? What you're using. So I'm going to use this fun little fella. Now the bummer with this is it doesn't have an oiler, but look at it. It looks fast, but it's really not that fast. It doesn't spin that fast. You guys are furring, think layers, all right? Think layers. So when you're furring, we are cutting with the side like this, all right? We're not cutting like this. We're cutting like this, and we're shaving away at the side of the wood. I see a lot of guys, a lot of beginners, you guys are doing your furring and you're straight in there just making these lines. That's not it. You're going in a little bit deeper and you're scraping with the side. feels like more of a novelty thing. Like when I'm carving live inside, I've done a couple events this year with like that. This is great, just a great little piece people like. It does not come with this handle. The end is usually longer out to the nose. I've had to modify right here so the handle would fit. This is from a power drill. Had to finish drilling all the way through, put a bolt in there. Somebody from Steel is probably like, "Aye, this guy's dangerous." But I'll tell you what I think is dangerous. This tool without having a handle, because if you're a carver and you run saws, what is the instinct of this hand? What do you usually want to do with this hand when you're carving and running chainsaw? You got your hand back here in your throttle. You want to grab something. You want to grab something. All right. When I first got this, I almost grabbed the bar twice because it sounds stupid, right? Admit your flaws, like it happens. We all have stupid moments. Almost grab it. It was like, whoa, there's no handle here. I'm so used to grabbing a handle. They want you to put your hand here. I don't like it. It's not comfortable. This, I feel like I got full control. So, anyway. Package deal still comes with all, yeah, 300 bucks. I'd go for it. Heck yeah. If I needed one, 300 bucks coming with a dime tip bar with a chain, the original bar and sprocket, that chain. I mean, 300 bucks sounds like a good deal, man. When I order bars, like if I order a carving bar though, I always buy steel bars. I might go and try a Canon 8-inch though for my MSA 160 in the future. I might go for one of them little ones, try that out. But anyway, when I order my bars from Steel, I order the bar and I order 2 carving chains. That's just how I end up doing it. So if one breaks, or you know what I mean, I have catastrophic failure with one. If I hit something and it just destroys teeth, I can, you know, have it all set up. Yeah, so in Canada, I think your prices are higher, Matthew, just seeing that. Just seeing your comment there, Matthew. I think your prices on that stuff are higher. I mean, they might have been up, though. I haven't ordered a carving bar in a while. Yeah, 40 bucks. Jeez, Louise. So, fun fact, I am, yeah, everything is expensive. Yeah, I hear you there. I hear you, everything is expensive. Fun fact, for those of you still sticking around and watching, I am getting trained through Steel right now. I actually decided to take on a part-time job, as I like to say it, because I work for myself, right? I carve, I do furniture. I left my full-time great paying job, all that good stuff, to have more time with the family, which I have a ton. And I am a busy guy. I like to be busy. Downtime is not my thing. It will be one day when I'm old and broken and all that good stuff. Then I'm sure I still won't have downtime. I'll figure something out to do. But anyway, our local Ace, we were chatting, and they were bringing in. I'll get to you. I see your question there, buddy. I'll get to you. And they're bringing in Steel, and so they have to have a service tech, and so I told them I'd be interested in being their service tech, and which is awesome because I've already started the training through Steel, some online training you got to do, and setting up where I'm going to work and things like that. So I'm still going to carve. I'm still going to be here with you guys making videos, but I'm going to go there a couple days a week and service equipment, chainsaws, blowers, weed whackers, whatever people bring in for servicing. At least that's the plan. So as long as things continue to go smooth and pan out, I'll be a service tech for Steel here in the future, which will be pretty awesome because that should also help with, chainsaw questions and things like that as well. I won't be getting any money for chainsaw sales, so you guys buy a saw. It's not like I'm going to get kickback, but yeah. So Micah, do I have time to watch any other YouTubers? Any other carvers on YouTube? If so, who do I like to watch? You know, I will be honest. So I don't do a whole lot. I do TV and watching stuff, but I don't always do YouTube. You know, like once in a while I'll get on a kick and like watching a series, and when I'll watch that series till it's done. I'll find a YouTuber I do like, and I'll watch that for a while until all their stuff becomes the same, and then I move on to somebody else. So like Belco Wood, I enjoy watching them from time to time. They are milling huge slabs, I think, in the UK. Not a lot of talking, which is okay, but running, you know, the MS881, I think, and the Halls G888, which I just got. I like watching them milling big, beautiful slabs into some, you know, seeing what's in there. It's cool stuff. I watch, what the heck is his name? Another carver. He's friends with Jordy. I watch Jordy a little bit too. I mean, me and Jordy used to chat all the time and do videos and stuff together. I don't have a problem with Jordy. I haven't watched his stuff in a while though. I really haven't. I used to quite a bit. Ryan. Watched a lot of Ryan cook. I'll watch his stuff every now and then. You know, he's been carving longer than me. You know, he's seen more, he's done more. So sometimes he's got some really great stuff that I like to watch and listen and learn from. You know, that's the thing. Like, I believe that when you're doing this stuff, you should, right? We put out these videos to help you guys and stuff, but my goal to consciously think about staying humble, because I'm not where I want to be in the terms of like I told you guys before, right? Long-term, you know, goals or success or whatever. Like, I still want to be improving the furniture I build, improving the art form of carving and things like that. So, yeah, the blonde-haired guy with curly hair, Ryan. Steel is not, I am not sponsored by any, you know, anybody like that. I do review videos for companies, you know, like Power Smart, Super Clean. If they reach out, I'll do a review, I'll get products, do a review, promote it, things like that. But I don't have an actual, you know, company, you know, sponsoring me. Maybe in the future, who knows? But right now my channel is too small. Like, I reached out to Halls Forma because I was like, hey, if you guys want to sponsor me, I'd be down. Here's the saws I'd use. They actually sent me the G888 with a 48-inch bar, chain, and the mill, and that's what I've been making videos with, promoting their saw. So I took that a step further and said, you know what, let's push it and see if they want to promote me and sponsor me, and I'll run Halls Forma saws on here, right? We'll see how they do. We'll carve with those, but channel's got to get bigger. Channel's got to get bigger. There's other companies that I've reached out to, and that's basically what it comes down to. I need more subscribers, more viewers, before big companies will even touch me. They, you know, they have to get their money's worth. You know, if they're sending you a tool, if they're sponsoring you, they got to get their money's worth for that advertisement. So, yeah, I am saying steel. S-T-E-A-L, steel. You guys probably want me to say still, style. Somebody was busting my chops about it last time. They said I was saying it wrong. I've always called it steel. Steel. Always called it steel. I've always heard it steel around here as well. And if you look it up on the Google machine, if you go to how to pronounce S-T-I-H-L, the chainsaw company, you can scroll down and find the Steel website, steelusa.com, and it says the proper way to pronounce steel is S-T-E-A-L, like the metal, steel. Or no, or you guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, just like the metal, steel. At least that's what it says online. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's someone else telling me it's wrong. It should be still. I should be saying still. Like, be still. Still. You're running still. But, whatever. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Right? Still the same. Still the same crap. Hope you guys are having a good evening, though. Hope you guys are enjoying this live feed. talking about YouTube channels that I watch, and I also watch non-carving channels. There are some other ones like Stinn It Sticks. Awesome carver right there. Style. All right. Stinn It Sticks. He does some really great stuff. There's another guy. He doesn't do a big channel, but I follow him. He's got a couple videos up. I can't remember his name. He's in Alaska, and he's probably one of the best chainsaw carvers I think I have ever seen. And I can't think of his name. I mean, he carved 2 elk smashing together, life size. He's done an octopus. He does bears, wolves, all kinds of stuff. And I can't think of his name, but he's based out of Alaska. And amazing stuff. Looks so real. I mean, his attention to detail and his ability is just what I would like to be one day if I put more time in and actually, you know, buckled down and really focused more on anatomy and things like that, because that's all the stuff that steps your game up. Studying anatomy of the animals and things. Yeah, I keep wanting to say his name is Ryan also, but something Anderson. Is it Ryan Anderson? Something Anderson, I think. Somebody asked me a question earlier. What's your favorite animal head to carve? You know, I don't know if I have a favorite. I like doing different things. Bears are simple, quick, and easy. After doing those horses, I might do some more. They're fun. Horses are fun because it's got a whole different, all the muscle structure in the jaw and in the snout and stuff. So that's pretty cool. A little challenge. Do I ever carve with anything other than chainsaws? You know, I run power tools for detail work. I'm just not running them tonight. You know, it's like 7:30. The battery saws are quiet enough. You get into power tools, you get that high whine. So what I like to do though is, like in this case, these aren't orders. These are going to be for shows and stores. Block out a bunch of carvings, carve them up, do my furring, do all the work on a pile of bears that I can. Maybe even some cardinals. Might even throw some cardinals in there. Might do another horse head. Do something kind of funky with some detail. All the work I can do with the saw, set them all aside, right? The way I work is I won't be out here the next day. I'll be working on a furniture piece or a customer order or doing something with the kids or something like that. And then I'll be out here a day or two later, and then I'll go through and do detail work. Now that day or two in between gives that carving a little bit of time to breathe and express, or, you know, kind of release some of the moisture on this top layer. It makes it easier to do the detail work, like the eyes and things like that. You can do it the same day, but if you give it a day or two to breathe, it'll dry out a little bit, makes it a little bit easier. You know, then you can burn it, paint it, whatever you want to do. I just don't let them sit and dry in the sun. I keep them under the tent, because if they dry fast, you're gonna have tons of cracks, and that's a pain in the butt. Yes, Jordan Anderson, that's who it is, Jordan Anderson. He don't know me, I don't know him personally. Boy, his work is phenomenal in my opinion. The things he has created, the way he's wrapped his mind around it as an artist, and his ability to carve and see, and to just, you know, really his work blows my mind. It's really amazing. You know, like Stinn It Sticks does it on a smaller scale, right? When he's done, you got a small animal on the stick, or you got a snake, and it all looks super realistic. Really nice work. But when it comes to Jordan Anderson, you're talking about full-size carvings, life-size pieces that, I don't know, I just like him. I like his work. I don't know him as a person. I don't know what kind of guy he's like or anything like that. I just know his art is just really great, really inspirational, right, for me to know that you can get that way. Another amazing, phenomenal carver that I've met and I've talked to, you can find on Instagram. Does not have videos. She doesn't do YouTube or anything like that. Her family is well known in my area. They build very high-end rustics. Yeah, he's got some fun. Bobby Duke's got some fun videos. You can look her up on Instagram though under LP Carver, LP Carver. Now her first name is slipping my mind, but her work, if you guys want to see some phenomenal hand carving, the realism is just, it seems unmatched to me. The realism that she's able to get out of like walnut and things like that with chisels. She's using chisels and hand carving and things for the high-end furniture. They're the Post family. They build very high-end rustic furniture for very high-end clients. Beautiful, beautiful stuff that's, you know, people want here in the Adirondacks, coast to coast, really. They do a lot of phenomenal stuff, but from their furniture to the carvings that she does is very inspirational for me as well. Again, if you're on Instagram, you can find them under Post Rustics. That's their main business page, or you can find her work personally under LP Carver. Hopefully it's not a big deal. I'm giving a shout out, but it's all business stuff for them, so shouldn't be an issue. If you want inspiration on carving animals, you can go see like her finished final products on there, and it's amazing. It really, really is. From, you know, a little chipmunk that's life size, all the fur to the eyes to everything. Super, super cool. I use a bunch of them. So I run battery saws, no cords. Right now we are just playing around with the GTA 26, customized a dime tip bar to fit, added my own handle, retrofitted this thing, you know, to do what I want it to do. And then I have the AP, it's the AP line. So it's the, what are they? The MSAs. So I've got the MSA 160, the MSA 200, and the MSA 220. All battery saws. They run the AP batteries, not the AL or AK, which is like the smaller stuff. I believe the AP is like their pro line. It's just what I started with, so it's just what I run. They take different batteries. So, guys have questions, just keep asking, man. We'll just keep hanging out. Got new people tuning in or just joining, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, all right, guys? Helps it grow. Boom, up to 9 thumbs up. Thank you so much. All right, so we went over what kind of electric saws, their battery. What website do I buy the saws from? I don't. Steel products have to be purchased from a dealer, or you buy them used, right, off like Facebook Marketplace, garage sales, whatever. So Steel prides themselves in selling their products at a dealer where they can also be serviced. I know this because I'm going to start servicing Steel products here, hopefully in the future, getting trained for it. Just something new added on. So in a sense, yeah, you're buying direct from a dealer. I think you can order offline, but it would have to go to a dealer because, you know, part of Steel's motto is like, it starts, it runs, and it works. To sum it all up, it starts, it runs, and it works before it goes out the door. And so, you know, they don't usually, at least not here in the US, they don't usually just ship that stuff right to your door. Now, if you ordered from a dealer online, they might ship it to you, but Steel USA.com or steel.com doesn't, I don't believe they'll just ship it to you. Favorite wood to carve? Pine. It's easy, it's simple. I don't mind working with black walnut either. I know a lot of people can get irritated skin and stuff, so it's important to wear a dust mask, but black walnut comes out really nice. But pine, different pines. Usually white or yellow pine. What am I carving with? The GTA 26 with just a small battery it comes with and a modified dime tip bar. So I had to chop this bar down. It's already that small. It's normally, so you got to order the dime tip bars, right? Custom ordered. So dime tip bar, ooh, on a bigger saw. It's tough for everybody to see. Bigger saw dime tip bar, the one I modified, right? So chopped it down so it'd fit on my little handheld saw here. Appreciate all the questions, guys. I like being, like chatting and, you know, helping you guys out or just talking, whatever. It's nice to have people tuned in, you know. I enjoy it. Sometimes that's the tough thing with YouTube is it's like, yeah, perfect, pine trees, there you go. Sometimes it's tough doing the YouTube things. It's like, you know, are people really enjoying this? Like when you look at your stats and you look at your views, you look at your comments, you look at your likes, and it's like, I just spent, you know, several hours creating this piece on filming. So, you know, a day creating this video, carving and filming, and then, you know, called it a day. And the next day got up at 4 or 5 a.m. and did the voiceover and edited for the next 2-3 hours or more, depending on the video, to upload 15-20 minutes of content, to have, you know, 3 likes, 1, maybe 2 comments, and 200 views at the end of a month. And it's like, bummer. Yeah, pine is great. So if you get into like red pine, that can be tough to carve. It just can. It's hard to keep noses and things together with like red pine. Spruce carves nice, but it has sap pockets. Can totally be done. I've carved spruce a bunch of times. You'll be carving, it all looks great. You'll let the piece sit and all of a sudden you'll see sap just oozing out different spots. Or you'll get, I can't remember what it's called, but I call it a sap line. And if it hits where the nose is, as it dries, the nose just falls off. So just different things like you learn when you're carving different stuff, things that you'll see. But pine carves nice. It does. It's easy on the saws. It really is. It's easy on your tools. You know, when you're running your Saburrtooth burrs, when you're running your wood burrs and stuff, they can clog up in pine. So, you know, I keep a brass brush and a small torch and just kind of burn the end a little bit carefully, right? Because we're working in a matchstick, you know, and just kind of clean it up as I go as needed. You can also put it in simple green, or not simple green, you can use that, but I put it in super clean, and let it soak, and then I'll scrub it off with a brass brush. That way there it doesn't dull the burr at all on you. So I do a lot of, this is the GTA 26. It's a pruning saw, so it's just a small little, and it doesn't come this way, right? I added the handle, I customized the guard, I customized a whole different bar for it. So they don't come like this. This is add-on stuff that I created myself. So the YouTube thing though can be very challenging, can be disheartening sometimes. You know, I've been on YouTube since 2015. And you know, you'd hoped you'd be bigger by now, and you watch other YouTubers who are chainsaw carving get on a year or two after you, even 3 years after you've started, and double, triple your amount of subscribers. And sometimes that's tough, you know, and you watch their videos explode. And sometimes it can be really hard, but at the same time, it's really exciting to know that the art form is being enjoyed by people, and that people are still very interested in at least watching it. I know my channel is a lot of beginner stuff, a lot of how-tos, a lot of teaching. I'm sure if I focused more on time lapse and just cool projects, I'd probably have a huge following, but you know, maybe one day. But I like to just do what I like to do, and you know, try to help you guys out the best that I can. There's a lot of competition on YouTube, you know, to do stuff. What burrs? I don't use Cutsaw. I chainsaw for blocking, a 250 or a MS271. I have 271 or 270. I run Saburrtooth burrs. I help them design their crosscutter burrs, which here's a little tiny one, which cuts the dome for eyes. They call it a crosscutter burr. I helped them design that. I was an affiliate with them like 2 years ago, maybe. I like their product. They're a small company. Great people, great customer service, all that kind of stuff. And so I still promote their stuff. I don't get any kickback. They don't pay me. I bring it up. I mention it because I like their stuff. I think I have one Cutsaw somebody sent me I've used on smaller projects. I've just seen pictures of a certain size with the shafts folding in half, and it kind of turned me away from wanting to like use it. But you know, it's like anything, it can have its bad days, right? So it's about how you use or abuse most tools, on how they stand up, but also quality. I guess that's can be a big part. Thing has no guts to plunge cut. Can't put my initials in with that. It's got no guts. That is going to be that for this guy. Everything else will do with power tools, and I'll do that another day. But so it's just 8x8. He's about maybe 16 inches tall. Right, we'll do the face and the eyes, clean the ears up, dig them out a little bit, put some pads on those feet. This be a cute, quick, cute seller. 150, 175 bucks, something around there. Boom. Show you one of my practice horse heads. So I tried it when I'm gonna go do big jobs. Like, I'm not worried about the back. Think about shapes, cuts, angles. It's not that great, right? But the idea was like, okay, I want the angle and I just want to get the rough idea of where the eyes align with the forehead and the snout. So I did this first, just kind of playing around to kind of get the feel of how the horse head would go for carving up those big ones that I did. So, I mean, you know, it's practice. It's practice. It's all practice, guys. All of it. It's all practice. Carved bears. You've used both burrs. They work the same. Yeah, I'm not trying to knock a company. It's, you know, again, it's like Ford, Chevy, Husqvarna, Steel. Whatever works for you, you know. I like Saburrtooth, so that's what I'll promote. Bears are popular. So I live near the Adirondacks, like the foothills. The Adirondacks are, you know, a great mountain range, upstate New York in the United States. People flock here for the colors of the leaves and the landscape and the beauty that it offers, and the lakes and streams and all that, and wildlife. And bears pay the bills. Bears are the money makers, you know. Bears sell well. So carve up a lot of little bears, go to a show, and, you know, you make some pretty decent money usually. So bears are where it's at. I've done eagles. Eagles don't sell as fast. Of course, my eagles aren't that great because I just haven't spent the time on them that I should, which maybe I'll get into a little bit more this summer. But yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Have I got any wood spirits we can look at? No. No, you can't. I did one a while back out of a piece of driftwood, and that one I was pretty happy with. It came out really, really awesome. He had a cigar hanging out of his mouth. After this live feed, if you go to the main page of my channel and you find, you know how it's got like videos, shorts, playlist. If you click the shorts, there is a short video with the phones this way of a wood spirit that I did. I think I showed you guys the end product out of a piece of driftwood. He's got a cigar hanging out of his mouth. It's pretty cool. I took him to the first craft fair that year, and he's gone. He sold right away. I think I sold him for like 75, 80 bucks. Probably should have put more on it, but, you know, sometimes it's just like, you're happy to see it go to people that like really appreciate the art and, you know, whatever. Yeah. 10 likes. Cool. If you're somebody just jumping on, give me a like. Give me a like. 10 likes is usually where it's at. I don't know if you guys can see, but I think at most we had 9 viewers tonight, right? We've been on over an hour and a half. It's almost an hour and a half. It's so crazy because, like, again, this is the part of YouTube that sometimes it drives me bonkers. That's awesome. What the heck just flew behind me? I saw it on camera. I don't know where it went. Oh God, is it on my back? No. Okay. Saw something fly. Cabot. Bluegill. That's awesome. Carved your first bear last week. Happy but need to practice. Thanks for the videos. You're welcome. You know, honestly, like, I could sit here and be like, oh, boo-hoo, the channel, I wish it did better. I wish I made enough money that YouTube would pay all my bills. It doesn't. Like, not a YouTube millionaire by any, not even a thousandaire. So, but I love doing it. I love teaching what I know and new things. And like, I really enjoy helping those of you that want to learn, like, carve, create, get into it. And just like, in all honesty, right? Like, it just kind of put yourself out there, because that's just how I am sometimes. Sometimes I say too much, but sometimes we just got to get away. You know, sometimes the world just sucks. We get stuck in a rut. We're doing the same thing. It's mundane, and we need something different. And I think a lot of people are blessed with a creative ability, if not everybody. And that creative ability might look different, you know, but I do believe if you have the inspiration and the drive and just a little bit to want to carve, whether it's with saws or power tools or something else, then you got to just go for it. And I like knowing that my channel can help cultivate that for people that are a little nervous to take the step, for people that are uncertain, you know, you don't have that confidence, you're not sure, and you know, just want you to be able to improve, not necessarily perfect, but improve your work. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And thank you. You know, it's nice that people appreciate the time that goes into this stuff. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. But you know, I want other people to have that feeling, right? Something different. You're not just working your 9 to 5 to pay your bills to stay alive. You're doing something else that you enjoy, right? Don't get me wrong. I enjoy time with the family. I enjoy doing things. I enjoy fishing and hunting, and I enjoy hanging out with my friends. I enjoy that stuff. I am also a workaholic, so it's tough because my workaholicism is creating art, which I probably get, you know, a lot. I get a lot. I don't even want to give you a percentage of my enjoyment from creating pieces. And that's, you know, that's the breakaway. That's my, you know, get away from the craziness of the world and just put it all out. Like, somebody brought up something to me going on in the world the other day, and I was like, really? I have no idea. I don't watch the news. We have our phones. I look at weather. Am I carving outside, or am I carving in a tent, or, you know, what are we doing today? And that's it. Like, world news, local news, it's just not on my radar. It's not worth the time. But anyway, you know, this channel, the whole idea is to inspire, you know, those of you that are interested now and in the future to just kind of take the leap and go for it, you know? Work on your skill, hone it in, and perfect it. Sometimes it's just planting that seed, you know? I know I'm not the best carver. I know I'm not. I like to think I'm a halfway decent teacher for this stuff, though. And if I knew more, I'd share more, you know? But, yeah. Almost 8 o'clock here. It's almost 8. We're okay. I'm in upstate New York, right? USA. It is 7:55 p.m. What about you guys? Where are you at? Well, what time is it? Okay? Where are you at and what time is it? If Matt Carves was here, right now it's Saturday, and Matt would tell me it's Sunday morning or some crazy stuff because he's like 2 days ahead. That's awesome, Elizabeth. That's good. You know, that's the goal. Like, I've had comments on videos like, man, you gotta make better videos. You gotta step your game up. You gotta do better work. No, I don't. I don't, though, because I just don't, right? I want videos that do that right there. Inspire you guys to get out there to do it. Push yourself, right? Every time you set a goal, have a second goal in mind, right? I want my furring to look this way. But what's the next step after that? I want my furring to go this way, right? Eyes. I want my eye. Oh, man, I want eyes that are cute. You're working toward cute eyes. Okay. I want eyes that look mean, and you're working. All right. Now I want eyes that look real, right? And so, like, you should be constantly growing. There's always growth. Should always be growth. Oh, that's cool. Heck yeah, giving away basswood to carvers. Sweet. Tioga, PA, right on the border. All right, yeah, just below. Hey, we'll see you, Micah. Thanks for stopping by. Upgraded to an MS-170. What, on the wife's phone. Upgraded to? What were you carving with before, if I can ask? What were you carving with before? Appreciate the conversation, Micah. Thanks for hanging out tonight. If you're sounds like you're heading out, so appreciate you you know, being here, asking questions. Hope you guys are having a good evening. It is muggy, like sticky out here. I am done carving this evening. I just figured I'd hang and chat with you guys for a few. Oh, it's sticky though. This shirt I've got on is like 100% sweating material. It's way too heavy. Heavy t-shirt. Good for winter, but not so good in the summer. Not so good. So yeah, I don't know if we got people jumping on. I'll show you guys what I carved earlier. I gotta work on getting a shelf right in the back. That's what I need to do. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that. I need to get a shelf there. So as I carve pieces, like when I carve them live, I can just set them back there and you guys can see them. Have a 435, yeah. All right. Oh, that's funny. Echo 310. All right. So you guys, I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about other brands because I just like I hyper focus on what I'm using. So you're running a Husky 435. What's the CC on it? You're running an Echo 310. What's the CC on that? Hey, LED. Doing good. Doing good. Hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. I do. I do. I just didn't want to turn them on tonight because when I'm live, they're loud. Here, I'll show you guys. Give me a second. Ooh, nothing like a close-up. Front of the tent, workspace, some wall pieces. This big fan right here, 50 bucks at Wally World. So if I'm running gas saws, that thing is on. If I'm sanding, if I'm not live or trying to create a video where I'm talking, that fan is on and it's just blasting out. Then I have my power strip with a cord that comes over here and sits back over there with a small fan. It's actually in the shop, but I'll bring that out. I'll set it up. So this fan will blow this way, run into the big fan, and it just creates this circulation because I'll open up the sides of the tent just a little bit and I'll get some good airflow. But it's the evening, the lights are on out here, and, you know, if you don't know, bear with me guys, putting the phone back on the thing here. If you don't know, I live in the middle of town. I live in the middle of town. So that was my big reason for upgrading to battery saws. Doing good, doing good. OJ McBaggins. Okay, all right. You use your DeWalt 20 volt 12 inch. Yeah, that's cool. All right, awesome. Okay, Kubota Bluegill 30cc. What? That was the 310. Yeah, so that's like the same size as a 170. It's like the same size as 170. No carving since January, man. Jeez, crow. That's all right. When you get back to it, go back to it with a whole different mindset. Try some different things. You know, if you know, like, hey, I'm going to be able to carve in a couple weeks, watch some videos. I've got some new tutorials on carving a bear. It's I think it's in the playlist, like stepping your game up or improving the cut. And it's kind of, we're kind of stepping out of like very beginner carving and we're stepping our game up, right? We're getting a little more detail into the furring, into the eyes especially, over the course of like 3 or 4 different videos, really just trying to get the detail in there and try to help you guys, you know, right, improve out of just beginner basics and stepping it up. it's really tough trying to put together videos that are like, hey, let's step it up, because it's all kind of the same process. It's just a matter of going a step further in the piece you're already working on. Your 435 is a 40cc. All right, yeah, so that's a little bit smaller than the 250. I think the 250 is like a 40, the steel MS 250 is like a 45cc. So that's not bad. You know, 40cc, I mean, you're talking like small to medium carving, blocking, easy. You get into big stuff, you're kind of going to be working a little bit slower, but still possibly doable with smaller cuts. I don't know if you're here earlier. I know it's not Elizabeth, but Elizabeth. I was talking like I like steel, and right, we can have this battle of Ford and Chevy, steel, Husqvarna, Echo, right? All these, but whatever. I like steel because I feel that I can interchange parts with different models. So you can take, you can take a steel MS 170, put your quarter pitch sprocket with a quarter pitch bar on, and now you have a detail saw. But the 3/8 sprocket in the 16-inch bar and chain that you take off the 170 will fit on your 250. And now that 250 is like a hot knife in butter when you're blocking small, medium, and you get into some moderate sized carvings where you gotta do some quick blocking and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, hey, that's all right. That's why the videos are on there, so you guys can pause, play it over, watch those commercials, all that good stuff. You know, I really haven't, because I'm always, so have I ever thought about selling DVDs of my videos because you have no internet where you carve? You know, I really hadn't thought about it, to be honest. Not DVDs per se. I have thought about putting videos up like on my website. I haven't quite figured out how to do it for download. It's like maybe you could download it onto your computer and have it, like you'd be able to purchase the video and you'd have it, you know. But DVDs, the thing with DVDs is like I'd have to come up with a company that could burn it. I don't have a computer that can burn DVDs anymore, so I don't know. Yeah, that 170 is great. Small carvings, medium carvings, detail work. Keep your chain nice and sharp. Um, yeah, I think you can download them from YouTube. I think you can. I've thought about doing classes as well, like a Zoom class, like you pay a fee. We set a date and a time, and then, well, we set a date and a time for a Zoom, and then you pay a fee, and then it's me and one. I would only want to do it with like one person per Zoom, so you have one-on-one experience, and we set up like this and carve. But you'd have to have the internet, and I'm not really sure how it would work out exactly, you know. Yeah, yeah. So my phone's always out here for reference, and I have a pretty expensive iPad. It was a small investment for sure, so I can use that for reference. I can go live on it with you guys as long as the internet's working good. But that's my little computer. I do all my video editing on that iPad. Everything for me is Apple, so it all works. So my mindset for things is I want things to work together. That's why I like steel. All my parts, a lot of parts and components all work together. I like Apple products because my phone and my iPad can all exchange information and work together in editing and things like that. So that's what I end up doing anyway. But yeah, I got to keep it covered and stuff. It gets covered in dust, and it does stress me out. It's a small investment. That's for sure. If you're just jumping on and tuning in, be sure to give me a thumbs up, guys. It helps the channel grow, helps other people see that we're live. Man, we've been on here for 101 minutes, almost 102 minutes. My wife's probably in the house like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Kids are done with school. This last week was it. My little guy's out. The girls, middle school, high school, that's been done for a couple weeks. My senior had graduation last night. That kid got all kinds of awards. Pretty cool. A couple scholarships. Pretty proud of her. She does some great stuff. She's a pretty smart kid. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. She's gonna go places. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Working on a cardinal. Awesome. Listen, I've got tutorials. Using those, or you're going off the fly. Weber. I got tutorial videos as well for man, guys, if you don't know, I've got lots of beginner videos. There's a whole beginner playlist, and then the stepping up playlist, which I don't know what else I'm going to add to that next. I'm working on smaller stuff right now. I mean, I just did those horses, LED. I don't know if you caught the video. I just did 2 horse heads for a customer out of, you know, it was soft like box elder, but it was some kind of wood like box elder. It had a stink to it. Box elder usually has a lot of pink in the wood. There was no pink. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe a basswood tree or something, but it was just over 2, so it came up into 2 big, like a big crotch right at the base. One was already cut short, and the other one was probably about 7.5 feet tall. We're talking 2.5 feet across for each lead. So we did 2 horse heads. I carved, you know, a smaller one. It's kind of got a stout snout pushed in, because if I made it long, his face would have been in the dirt to have the head down so low. And then the other one, we did a black stallion. Did like the bust with mane that kind of wrapped around like he was set in the log. It came out pretty great. Matthew Weber. All right, there you go. But that came out really good. LED. That'd be worth checking out, I think, if you haven't already. That was probably my most recent big one. I was just talking with a potential customer about doing a 7-foot Bigfoot, but we just haven't been able to come together on the numbers, which, you know what, that's all right. I'm not gonna bash, I wouldn't bash a customer or a potential customer just because prices don't align. It is what it is. Like, I'm running a business, you know, I've got bills to pay, mouths to feed, and things like that. So if prices don't match up, they don't match up. In this particular carving that was going to be 7 feet for the Bigfoot, they were looking to have me do, it was going to be on site, and so like I charge more to do on-site work, and I charge different prices depending on what the piece is going to be. You know, it's not like knocking out these little bears, different size bears that are just like, you know, going to town and hammering them out. Yeah, well, you know, there's different, you know, as far as people wanting things. I better back it up here. We're getting away from some comments. All right, so Clout Gangster. Does the steel prune saw use the AP batteries? So the GTA 26 has its own style battery. All right, it's not like AP or anything. It's an AS2, I guess. So it's very tiny. The AL or AK batteries pop into the top of the bigger saws because they are still like this, but they're smaller than the AP batteries. They're smaller than these, okay? So, and the saws are set up a little bit different. You can go right on to like steel.com and you'll be able to like look them up. Let's see. I'll get down, guys. You can keep commenting. I'm just trying to get caught up with everybody on a Capote bluegill. Huge pine last week that died. I'm hoping to get good enough to do a bear with it. Yeah, practice. I always tell everybody, like, start small. Work your stuff in, and then work up to a bigger piece. Matthew, as far as people wanting stuff for free, there's definitely people that want stuff for free. What I call Walmart prices. You know, people, me telling customers, you know, this bear I'm gonna put, depending on how so I don't know, sometimes I'll gauge it by a foot. There's a specific style bear holding fishing poles and flags, $125. They're about 14 inches tall. That's what they go out the door for me. That's what I sell them. People don't like it. Move along. You know, this guy will be 150 to 175 once complete. He's about 18, 20 inches tall, 8 by 8 square. It is what it is. I've at a point where, like, if things sell, they sell. I have a decent idea of pricing, which is really tough to share with you guys because, like, it's different where you live, your area, your is, you know, not, I don't want to be a jerk, but like, depending on your skill level of where you're at in carving, you know, has to dictate what your pricing is. And as far as people wanting things for free, you know, back to that, because I'll get sidetracked with other crap. They do. I have people, you know, come in a booth at a craft fair and be like, you want $150? I could get that for 80 bucks. See ya. Go get it. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You know, and then you have people go, are you kidding me? That's so overpriced. That's ridiculous. And if they say it and I can hear them, I like to respond with, compared to what? Compared to who? Because, like, I know quite a few carvers, so I'd love to know whose work you're comparing me to. There are plenty of guys and girls, ladies, who carve way better than me. So I would love to know what their price is for a piece like this. I mean, a piece like this, right? 18, 20 inches tall. I know a guy, I know a carver who is about an hour and a half from me. Big name. He's carved awesome pieces for Nike and some other big people. He will get $325 to $350 to $400 a foot. So he will carve a bear that'll fit within here and carve it, sell it for $325 to $400. What? I can't sell a 12-inch bear for $100. I gotta go 14 inches for $125, but is what it is. As far as that one potential customer and the one they want, they didn't want it for free. They had a good price point, and the price point they're at, you know, I told them, like, I can carve one off-site. It's a little bit more than what you're at, but it's way less than what we've discussed, and I can carve it off-site and bring it to you, you know, and put it in place. But this is my rate for on-site. On-site work is more stressful. There's more setup. There's your drive time. There's more of a time frame and a limit, right? Instead of saying I'll have it ready in 2-3 weeks, now I have to have it ready in 1 to 2 or 3 days, unless I'm driving hours to go do it. Then I need it done that day. And so you have to pay for that, you know? Yeah, you're not getting rich off carving. Hey, Glenn, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. I ain't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you on here in a while. You know what I mean. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Get them painted. Those are awesome. I try not, so I do the videos on those. I don't advertise that I'll do those for people due to copyright laws, you know what I mean, and all that kind of crap. You don't know what companies are gonna try to come after you and give you a hard time. I don't usually go live. You know, you guys have inspired me to maybe start going live every other week, or maybe once a week. Maybe I'll start. A lot of times I've been on here for 2 hours and have only had one person on here chatting with me, and it's great to chat, but sometimes it's disheartening that, you know, you can spend all this time and get no feedback sometimes. But got all you guys on here chatting it up, you know, maybe we'll start going live every other week or once a week. We'll see what happens. For me, it's the evenings, though, if I do go. Tends to be, you know, I'm on the East Coast, USA. Tends to be, for me, you know, after 4 o'clock, after 3 p.m., 4 p.m., start going live. What is the difference between the MSA 220CB and TCO? So if it's a 220 CB, so there's going to be 2 different kinds as far as battery. So we're talking battery saws, Clout. And everybody else that's listening to me ramble and might not be reading the comments is ask them what's the difference between the different battery saws. So if you're on steel.com, you can actually see the difference. But usually if it's like the same model, a 220 CB, 220 TC, so B, CB, back handle, T, top handle, not this top handle. It's a top handle saw. So this part wouldn't exist, and there'd be a top handle with your throttle and all that. So you'd have this with a top handle. And those are for tree guys, climbers, cutting and limbing trees and things like that. I don't recommend carving with a top handle saw. It really like cranks your wrists in a very strange way. I don't really care for it myself. Yeah. Sometimes when you can see it, then you know. I know. Thanks. I appreciate that, Allie. I haven't seen any Bob Ross videos in a while. You know, it was really fun doing it. And yeah, you should probably do some more of those for sure. I have the next couple, so it's been crazy squeezing in custom orders between furniture and carvings for people. Trying to get all my stores stocked up because like this winter I slacked so bad. I should have had way more stock done and I didn't. So as soon as the weather broke, it's just been like carve. Like right now, all this needs to be done for a store, and then I need to do all this amount for a big craft fair that I have coming up. That'll be in Scroon Lake, New York, actually July 22nd, if anybody's up in this way. So the next couple weeks are going to be wild carving. Plus my daughter has her graduation party in a week. But I want to get in and do some more Bob Ross. What was it? I think we were doing Wednesdays with Bob, right? We'll just pick up like nothing ever happened. Maybe make a joke about it. But I really like, so earlier we were talking like, who do you like to watch on YouTube? You know, who do you enjoy watching for inspiration kind of question. You know, I went through some carvers and we were discussing, I was discussing other channels, you know, like Belco Wood. All they do is slabs, but I enjoy the channel and the slabs. It's like, you know, what's it look like? That's awesome. But I also will watch some other bigger channels that are goofy, right? My son enjoys watching that stuff and I'll watch with them. Sometimes for entertainment, but sometimes to see what they're doing, you know, how do they approach editing, how do they approach their content and things like that, because we're talking about some channels that have like multi-million subscribers, and these guys are making thousands and thousands of dollars a day. And so, you know, so what is the, you know, the bit behind their success in doing that? So I'll watch channels for that idea as well. But I was going somewhere else with that. Now I forgot. What's new? Yeah, go live so you guys can follow along. I've done that before. I have. Sometimes it's tough though because you guys can't see all the angles. They say there's a way to set up the GoPros through a live feed so you guys can actually see the GoPro angle and the saw and the cut, but I haven't been able to figure it out. Because I would love to go live with a GoPro off my shoulder and then we carve something together like that live. But the only problem is I don't know if I could see comments. I don't know what that looks like. So if I get time, it'll be something to play around with. Matt, you wish you could get one of them bad boys, huh? I assume one of the battery saws. So this 220C battery saw has the quarter pitch sprocket on it off of my 160 because that's not running right. I'm having an issue with the trigger. And quarter pitch, 14-inch quarter pitch bar and chain, 43 gauge chain. So this thing rips for the 220. And then the 200C has a quarter pitch, already comes with a quarter pitch sprocket, the 12-inch dime tip bar and carving chain. Now that setup was on the 160 before I started having throttle problems. Something going on there with the wiring or something. I don't know. I got to mess with it. I have a Husqvarna 352, I don't know what the heck it is, 552T top handle saw I've carved with a couple times. I did a video on it. I called it the garbage saw. It was actually thrown out and I put it back together and JV welded it. We did some carving with it, but yeah, top handle carving, not for me. No thanks. Thanks, LED. Congrats to my daughter for graduation. Appreciate that. I know. That's insane. It flies by. The time flies by. Off to college she is. Greater, bigger, and better things. YouTube it. Look it up. Yeah. Holy cow, Glenn. The 140s are over $500 in Quebec. I think they're less than that. Now I gotta look. I'll have to look here at my local store. I'm gonna be a service tech here soon, hopefully, if it all keeps working out. I've been training with steel to a service. We got a local hardware store I shop at all the time, and one of the employees who usually helps me out with crap said they were bringing it in, and I told them I'd be interested as a service tech for steel, working with them, because our local hardware store is pretty awesome. We got some great owners and stuff. And so anyway, they hired me on. I'm working part-time. So I can still do my own thing, do videos, carve, do furniture and all that. But yeah, slowly training through steel to do that, which is awesome. Pretty exciting. New stuff, you know? Opportunities I wouldn't have if I was still at the other job. Tikis, all right. Now we got two Matthews on here. Matthew B, carving up tikis. You know, I haven't really done any tikis. I think if I was on the coast, I'd do them more. Yeah, I should. If I do, I'll make a video out of it, because you guys will probably enjoy watching that. Matthew Weber, can't afford a carving bar. Save up, man. Carve some pieces without the carving bar. Work on your blocking, work on your skill level. Do as much as you can. Perfect, right? If you got a 170, you got the smallest bar you can already. That's stock, right? If you're running a 170, 43 gauge chain, carve what you can, take your time, repeat, practice, repeat, and sell those dirt cheap. And when you sell those, save that money, get your carving set up, right? Get your detail bar, sprocket, 2 chains. Now you can swap that on the 170. So you carve a whole bunch of them as far as you can with the stock 170. And then the next day, right, carve up like half a dozen, do half a dozen, because you're gonna progress and change. You'll see. Do half a dozen with just the stock bar, take it off, put all your detail bar and sprocket on. Now detail them the best that you can. Now sell them, right? $75, $50, $80, I don't know, whatever. Feel it out in your area. Start off at $75. If they don't sell, be willing to go to $50. Just get them sold. Get them sold. $25, doesn't matter. Make enough money though, right, with the first bit to get the carving bar set up. Now you're shooting for a blocking saw. Now you want that 250. So now you're stepping your game up, charge a little bit more, get yourself the 250, and now you really start rolling. Not in the money though, because like I'm not getting rich, so. Holy cow, carving bar, sprocket, and chain Glen was another 250. That is insane. So when I first started, I bought my 170. I got it on sale. It was like $149.99. And then I ordered the carving bar, the sprocket, and 2 chains, and that cost me another $143. So all in all, I was like just shy of maybe $300 or just on the $300 line for the whole setup out the gate. Yeah, prices are getting ridiculous. All right, do I watch other carvers? LED, I'll get back to that, man. I was talking about it earlier. Jaw horse, guys, that's a great investment. Don't forget your safety gear, big time, all right, guys? Safety gear, chaps, eye protection, ear protection, all right? Oh, that's how you did it. Yeah. Right. Sell, carve, and upgrade. Yeah, yeah. Echo's a great saw. We got an Echo dealer around here too. I've never ran them, but a lot of people tell me they're great saws. All right. Where was it? Where was it? LED. Do I watch other carvers on YouTube? So we were talking about this earlier. I watch other carvers for not. I don't. So I'm not going to focus on just carvers, all right? Because I watch YouTube for why you guys are watching YouTube. And I watch YouTube for inspiration, and for knowledge. And so if somebody's doing the same stuff I'm doing, I'm not really watching it unless they are really inspiring to me. Unless I like right here, you guys are all saying it. Ryan Cook, I really do. I enjoy Ryan Cook's personality. I've hit him up in chat once or twice on just some little things. Ryan Cook loves Echo, yeah, because they sponsor him. He is sponsored by Echo, I do believe, and I believe before Echo he was sponsored with the other orange brand. I believe he was sponsored by Husqvarna. Now I could be wrong, but I believe he's sponsored by those companies. You get sponsorships like that though when you get a following like his. I mean, he was on TV, right? And so if you get TV, you get that credit that people notice you, they see you, they know who you are, right? You get that stardom from just regular TV, which is so awesome to have a carver do that. Like, don't get me wrong, guys, I'm happy for him. That is absolutely awesome. And so by doing that though, those sponsors are already looking at him. They're already saying, okay, he's done these big things, and he's created these big series in the past before a cut above, and that gets his name out there. So you've got all these companies looking at him as a great advertisement, right? Then he starts his YouTube channel, and now he's got this great following, and he's got an awesome personality, just such a cool dude. On top of having that background of, getting followers. So it makes companies, it gives companies an easier decision to be able to promote and back him. I do watch some of his stuff though. I really do. Yeah, I've mentioned him before. Yeah, Jones Red were a big deal back in the day, Glenn. That's what I hear. Yeah, thanks, Matt. I have been doing this for a while. I would love. I don't know. I always I wish this would just take off and just be so much bigger than it is. And at the same time, you know what? In the same breath, and at the same time, I'm happy where it's at. You know, I'm happy where the channel's at. Would I love for it to be? I had said earlier this year I'd love for this channel to be at 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know that seems just like a total smoke show goal because that's doubling. I was at 15,000 subs. Now we're pushing almost 17,000. I'd love to hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but I'm not really sure how to get there. You know what I mean? How to do things differently that draw people in. I'm not about the clickbait. I'm not about trying to fake people out, So it's tough. Did you? Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate it. So it's tough, I mean, I enjoy YouTube. I enjoy carving. I enjoy sharing all this stuff with you guys. Yeah, Chainsaw Jenna, another great personality. I've asked her a few different questions through Instagram on some tools and things like that. Tay Marie, I just started checking out her channel a little bit. She's done some pretty cool stuff, really cool stuff. Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see, women jumping on and carving. There are plenty of women that do this that just um don't do YouTube. There are some they've been in the game longer than me. I have a local carver, Sarah. I can't remember her last name. She'd be like, "You dummy," but she is an amazing carver. Sarah's been doing this a lot longer than I have, and she creates beautiful, beautiful pieces. There's another woman. I can't remember her name, but she does beautiful work as well. She's actually been featured in the Steel catalog, on one of their chainsaw pages, holding the chainsaw with her chaps and her face shield and stuff. And she's a you know, like a renowned carver. So it's cool. Like, this isn't just this isn't a guy's thing. You know, this is just people, you know, wanting to pursue something and pursuing it, you know, and having that ability, not necessarily having that ability, but cultivating this skill. Yeah, yep, I'm on Facebook. I get a lot of requests on my personal page. So I keep my personal page personal. I do have Kyle Hall Woodworker new carvers. You guys can always go there. You have to answer all the questions and I'll let you in the group. If you don't answer all the questions, I deny the access because I'm just trying to keep the bots out and the spam crap out. And then I also have Halls Stick Furniture and Signs on Facebook as well. And then I'm on Instagram, Kyle Hall Woodworker, Instagram, Halls Stick Furniture and Signs. Yeah, both those are on Instagram too. So, thanks, Matthew. I appreciate it, man. Listen, it's important to me. It is. It's important to me to go live. I want to start doing it more often. I really do. Life gets crazy though, you know, like just like you guys, like life gets nuts. Sometimes I set goals like I'm going to do this and then something more important comes up because, you know, you got a family and like there's just different things that happen, but I enjoy I enjoy connecting with followers, with viewers, subscribers, those of you learning or who know more than me sometimes, because we have people on here that know way more than I do, and they share that stuff, and it's awesome. On because I do TikTok too. If you guys don't know, I go live on TikTok, and then when I go live on TikTok, you know what's insane about TikTok? I got to just get this out, and I'll get up here and read your guys' comments. What's insane about TikTok is the amount of time we just spent here, right? We've been on here for 2 hours. I can go on TikTok for 2 hours and I will have, the last time I did that, I had almost 30,000 views. I had 2,000 likes. I had 25 or 30 new followers after 2 hours of being on TikTok, carving and talking and stuff like that. TikTok is wild. But I met a carver on there who I'd followed for a while. I think his name is Dave. Dave or David. Dave. But he goes by, you'd find him on there under Woodbrute on TikTok and maybe even on Facebook. Such cool work, all right? He'll be like, shut up. But he's an older guy. He's been doing it for a while. Super cool, though. Super cool dude. Carves up some really, really cool stuff. Hey, Glenn, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, chatting, and joining. Yeah, but listen, there's some awesome stuff on there. I know, I was like, I ain't getting on this crap. And then I got on there, and there's carvers, woodworkers, there's all kinds of artists on there because it's a new platform. It's a new place to take your work, put it out there and share it. And so, you know, I do have locals doing the same hobby. We also got a guy, Scott Hook. He's another awesome carver, been doing it for a while, but he doesn't do this kind of stuff. Your old man thought you were crazy when you started carving. A lot of people do. TikTok. So LED, way too old for TikTok. I don't understand it. It's just videos, short videos, anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. That's it. You got to show and say what you got to say within 30 seconds to 3 minutes and put it out there. So if you were to get it and you download it and you start scrolling, it's a stupid crap. But if you go to the search bar and you look up this guy, or you look up chainsaw carving and you look up the things you're interested in, that's what you'll start seeing. Like, I like older lowrider trucks. Stuff pops up, right? Hot rods and things like that. Stuff pops up. Watching guys fell trees with big saws, big trees out west. Now that's the stuff that pops up. A guy that eats hot stuff. I think it's funny because he's an idiot and eats hot stuff. Another guy that'll eat whatever people request. Cracks me up. He that dude's funny, but there's a lot of great stuff on there. All right, guys. So I've been on here just over 2 hours. I gotta go. I know we got some people bailing out. I have appreciated this time with you guys. I really have. I appreciate those of you that have hung out, who've stuck around. Some of you have been here for over 2 hours. I know some of you just jumped on. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm glad we could, Chinese government spying on you, LED. I got you. I get it. I get it. But our own government spies on us too, so. You know, tomato, tomato. The difference is our government's stealing our money and doing whatever they want while they ride in their Ferraris and live in their mansions, and the rest of us are just hoping to keep the lights on. What's the Chinese government going to do with my information? Steal the money I don't have? Whatever. All right, guys. It is. It is. All you can do is just keep living life and doing your thing, right? I don't even worry about it anymore. See, LED, see? Right? When you start, yeah, I can't get on this stuff. People will think I'm nuts, and then I'll lose subscribers. Oh. Hey, Buzzsaw. Thanks for stopping by. All right, guys. I gotta go. It's getting dark. It's getting dark. It's getting late. Time to clean up and chill out. Wife's probably already asleep. 8:39. She's probably sleeping. Hope you guys have an awesome night. Listen, guys. Make sure if you haven't hit subscribe, turn on those YouTube notifications. Make sure you hit the bell. Hit all right? When I go live, you guys will be alerted, for those of you that are still here, okay? So you guys don't miss when I'm live, and you don't miss future uploads and things like that, okay? Really do appreciate you guys being here, hanging out, just chatting. I know we did a little bit of carving, a lot of tool talk. I think we're gonna have some tool and chainsaw videos coming up in the future. We'll see if this video uploads for everybody else as well. Hope you guys have a great night. Have an awesome week. Keep gripping and ripping. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.